afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast. I'm your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. All fit out, riveting, amazing, spectacular 1v1 on Angoville. And north is the AngryDutchman fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, and the 12th Tank Corps here with airborne troops featuring airdrop weapons, dishkas, airborne rally points, guards airborne troops, and the Sturmwick rocket runs with infantry, mine, and partisan bulletins. Alright. In the south it is Iroha fighting for the German army, Deutschland. Forming up here the Sperrverband Müller with Osttruppen doctrine featuring, well, Osttruppen, entrenching tools, artillery field officer, supply drops, and railroad to support the triple into bullets there. We got Osttruppen 42 start here for Iroha, pushing westwards there as is AngryDutchman with a double conscript start there. So there you go, 2 Osttruppen out here, and as always, please remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share. That's certainly how we out a lot in the fight against YouTube algorithms. Also, big thanks to my Patreon supporters that which this episode and so many others would not have been possible without their brave contributions. You too can join the ranks by pledging on Patreon. Just chuck in a donation. Links are in the description. Triple conscript there for AngryDutchman. Probably seeing a 3rd Osttruppen squad for Iroha. Well, there'll be a 4th Osttruppen squad, of course, could be another matter. We got shots here being fired in the West Indies versus Pioneers. Up close, the Pioneers will win with their MP40s trying to pop into the shed, but obviously if they get in front of the door they won't be able to shoot back. But there you go, MP40 being caught up by the conscript from grabbing the centre of western field. But they've also got Osttruppen squading eastwards, can go for the 3rd one now just as the 3rd conscript arrives here for AngryDutchman. There you go, 3rd Osttruppen squad arriving here, MP40 almost done. There you go, conscript rushing in to deny the point here to Iroha. Osttruppen being shot to bits here by AngryDutchman, assembled troops in without cover. The Osttruppen absolutely cannot fight back. Machine gun moving out here. Osttruppen squad's heading westwards there as the other one is heading eastwards to continue to grab points up here. Basically, the other units here seemingly acting as a diversion by now, as the west push here has for the most part of it been thwarted by AngryDutchman and the Red Army. Comes they're going to flank around here. The aim behind the MP42 good maneuver there. It's going to need to pop some troops into the building. Oh, that's going to be a problem there. Go, that's exactly what's going to happen. AngryDutchman not maneuvering here. Iroha did not foresee this at all. Good play for AngryDutchman. Need to treat the Osttruppen squad there. And there you go. Contra about the Osttruppen opening up here. Shots being fired back and forth across this narrow band of space. Osttruppen moving for the eastern fuel point here. MP42 routed. In the west we got Pioneers versus Engineers. And looks like the Pioneers could actually win that one. Engineers down to just one man. And if Iroha or AngryDutchman paying attention, oh, close one there. The Osttruppen being hosed down now. A forced retreat as well. Gave them the eastern fuel point at the very least here. Take up for Iroha and the German army. The Sperrverband Müller. Grab the point here. Got the point there. Pioneers routed as well. A lot of casualties in the end, I would say. AngryDutchman got hit on that one. Eastern point being secured. Almost got it. Troops reinforcing. Setting up for the next big push. MP4 troops already in the move. Not fully reinforced, but clearly Iroha has decided that's not as important. Take done. Can't quite build anything right away. Could of course go for some early punch with the as AngryDutchman. Of course is quickly digging in with sandbags. Preparation for the next fascist onslaught. Thumbs up there to AngryDutchman. This Engineers by way of waiting reinforcements, as priorities are on medics. Alright, done there, setting up, pushing eastwards. Big AngryDutchman also beginning to dispatch more forces eastwards there. Can also begin dropping in the airdrop weapons here against Iroha. Of course, not they directly throw them down on Iroha's areas, but of course throw them down so he can upgrade his men with more firepower. So far none of that is happening. In fact, we've got a flamethrower upgrade here, I believe, on the Engineers. Yes, indeed. Skirmishing here. Awesome. As the conscripts in heavy cover. If he can't get behind the well, he can actually fight on the conscripts here, where they don't get the cover bonus. And route them. Of course, they also go for deeper flank, but I think just pushing the conscript out there with the best move. But no, Iroha goes for the cover point there. Meanwhile, east side awesome to seize territory. I'd like to make a nice company up. They got the MG42 popping into the building here as well. Going for the cover point, but can't hold it without cover. So again, I think they should just push through the conscripts here and then moved up to the defensive line around here. Well, set up a line here. Offensive, obviously, less defensive there, but that's just me. Also now to deal with constant Engineers on their own unsupported. We got more Pioneers moving up here. No flamethrowers for those chaps. Didn't quite upgrade those. Osttruppen falling back here, but they exposed out in the open. Engineers trying from the north each of them before trying to deal with that. And there you go, constant being routed. Osttruppen taking heavy damage on the rest of the process. 2 victory points to control here of Iroha and the German army. Nothing further going on. They could go for the Panzer gun these, and again, I would recommend that as a conscript build. They're great. Plus, with an Osttruppen strategy, you definitely want Panzer gun these, like do some of the heavier lifting offensively in the longer match. So definitely here, I think Iroha should go for some Panzer gun. They're going to push for a flamethrower after here an armored car versus AngryDutchman. Alright, pushing up the eastern side here. Going to swing around Iroha's main push here. Got maneuver there by AngryDutchman. Thumbs up. Iroha could also toss in an officer, which could also work out, but Definitely need something with a bit more assault capability. And then go 251, that's going to be most likely be a flamethrower tech there from Iroha. Could be, you know, a regular one there. We have seen players like Armstrong go for that. And use that with, say, reasonably good success. But I could definitely see Iroha going for it, particularly since it's not spending munitions on anything else. So a flamethrower tech seems very likely. Also by now, with Iroha having hit 2 command points, they may want to consider laying down some sandbags here and there. Using the entrenching tool to go to the Osttruppen. There you go. Panzer as well there for Iroha. Very good. Half check arriving. Disc being airdropped here for AngryDutchman. No SVT-40s as of yet. Machine in a bit of a dicey position. Plus losing some fuel point here. Not the greatest set there by Iroha in the end. Not the greatest setup. Flamethrower there being steadily upgraded. Osttruppen up. Panzer squad halfway down there for Iroha and the German army. Didn't finish the sandbags there. Might have been misclicked by AngryDutchman. Maybe something else transpired that caused it to be delayed or offset. Who knows? Flampanzer is almost done. You got engineers conquering for the building with the Osttruppen. Back hit reinforcing. Panzer there arriving here for Iroha. Very good there. East side, we got the Osttruppen as the conscripts. Bit of skirmishing there. Flampanzerwagen ready with its 2 flame projectors. Panzer moving up there. Sturmgewehr 44, blazing away hot. German led and anyone approaching. Getting too close overall. Bung grenade there in the building. Or perhaps getting the conscripts as well. They're getting some damage in them both. In fact, we could see a conscript here on AngryDutchman. That's exactly what's going to happen. A huge blow to Iroha. Or AngryDutchman, not to Iroha. They did lose an Osttruppen squad, which is definitely less great as well, though. Technically more replaceable than the conscripts. They're not by a lot. We need to reinforce counterattack, get that fuel back and under control. Panzer's flamethrower take eastwards. And then we got conscripts dug in this, and then we have to rush it back, and that's exactly what we're going to do there. Basically mixing out their efforts in the end. Osttruppen reinforcing, machine being moved up here as well for Iroha. Catch the conscripts out in the open. AngryDutchman clearly not expecting that. You could also consider going for some Guards Airborne Troops now to replace the conscript. Meanwhile, we got to take up here for AngryDutchman finally. Support company up. Still no discus. Still no heavy machine. Oh, I mean, still no SVT-40s. You got the disca, but I'm sort of thinking more it's surprising he hasn't upgraded the conscripts as of yet. I mean, typically it tends to be like they don't go for discus and, you know, upgrade all the troops for that. But here in this case, it's actually the reverse. We got discus, but no upgraded conscripts. Back here, troops reinforcing. Could consider another Panzer squad here versus AngryDutchman. Wouldn't be a bad idea. We got the 5th on the way there for AngryDutchman and the 12th Tank Corps. And there we go, finally some SVT-40s being dropped in. It was intended to be the main battle rifle of the Soviet army, but by the time the war broke out, they didn't have enough of them. So it's just more like handed out here and there, and sort of like, you know, I think case bases, for example. You had a lot of Soviet naval infantry in Sevastopol, for example, that actually equipped largely with SVT-40s. Meanwhile, a lot of frontline troops elsewhere weren't just equipped with the Norse and the gun. So some fun facts there, some fun facts. Catching the engineers there. Just getting caught with the Panzergrenadier. Getting some good damage in with the Sturmgewehr 44. Panzer being down to just 2 men, need to retreat. Panzer squad number 2 out there for Iroha. That's definitely good. That's 2 Panzergrenadier squads, which if used correctly can actually put a lot of pressure on your opponent, can quickly clear out support weapons and infantry squads with a good maneuver. If you've sort of, well, maneuvered them correctly. Back hit, reinforcing, and there you go. Got the SVT-4 wielding conscripts ready for AngryDutchman. The Red Army. The Soviet Union. MG4 holding up here on the west side. We got Osttruppen about there as well. We got 489 to 441 so far. Iroha has a small lead over AngryDutchman in terms of victory points. That said, Iroha definitely needs to work on the fuel control. Definitely something they're lagging behind. The canals possibly Manag to begin steadily considering taking up for medium armor. Flamethrower acting as a bit of a decoy here. Bait to draw units into the machine gun there. Sneaky play there. Panzer moving up here. Bang grenade off! And we see, oh, there we go, another conscript squad down here for AngryDutchman. He's only just 2. This is big now. This is actually starting to become a problem for AngryDutchman. That is 2 infantry squads just annihilated. But there you go, summoning forth the Guards Airborne, adding the PPSH-41 submachine gun. The SH standing for Spargan, the inventor of that particular version, which was effectively just an improvement of the PPD-40. Which was made by Dekcherev, which made the DP for light machine gun. But a little fun fact there. Austin then shot to bits out in the open. Contributing against MG42. But they managed to get past it. That said, AngryDutchman can still do with a bit more infantry long run. But still, having access to the submachine gun guards airborne there is going to be quite effective, since they have access to the very powerful, of course, tactical assault. They also get fire superiority, grenades of all kinds, plus, as doing extreme rounds, actually, guards airborne are probably some of the elite infantry with the most abilities just attached to them. Like, I don't think much of the elite infantry gets that many things attached to them. Certainly also not that many abilities with just straight up sort of powerful utility. Plus the 6-man squad. Anyways, back here, bunker up for Iroha and the German army. Still no tech there. Panzer there being pushed out of the building. Flamethrowers obviously being a quite great deterrent for staying inside of a building. Discrete positioning here. Conscripts ready, and we got the guards airborne setting out here with their submachine guns. Medic bunker almost ready to be upgraded there for Iroha. Could still consider taking up soon. Conscripting for the western field. We got mines being laid down on the flank. S-mines, flamethrower uptake also being about. We got 3 kills, veterans 1, and it could consider laying down some mines for that one. Not a bad idea either. Panzer being caught in the fires. Panzer moving to support here, I think. Didn't. Also, of course, AngryDutchman should probably consider taking up himself soon. At this point, though, he's probably going to be better off going straight for the mechanized armor company rather than bother the tanks in command. Since, I mean, usually around the 11, 12, 30 minute mark, you're usually going to be hit by a medium tank anyway, so you're usually better off just pushing for that yourself rather than, you know, try and go for light armor. And of course, Iroha should also consider taking up soon. We've got a Pack 40 in the way. Iroha, of course, worried that they might get hit by a medium tank first, or even a light tank, so they want the anti-tank out. Makes sense, though. Arguably, they could just go for a supply drop, which provides them with extra machine gun versus AngryDutchman's infantry, plus fuel and munitions. At, you know, slightly higher cost, you can easily just cruise over the Osttruppen. So I think that's something that you should consider instead of just going straight for the Pack 40, plus it's faster in that sense. So a small suggestion there for Iroha. Conscript filming westwards there. Back here, troops reinforcing, seizing points for the glorious Red Army. Osttruppen pinned down to the ground. Here we got the Dishka firing away their 2 kills. And there you go, Panzer up, Kanone 40. Hold fort here by Iroha. And the German army, the Sperrverband Müller. A Sperrverband, for those who don't know, is sort of a defensive Kampfgruppe, specifically designated as a blocking formation, simply because that was basically what was expected to be able to do, just hold terrain. We used to sort of, you know, a response to like desperate situation where things weren't working out. You had them a lot on the eastern front, but also for example doing Operation Market Garden, you had numerous Sperrverbanden, so meant to like hold up the British advance. So a little fun fact, there you go, bunkering the guards airborne and decently dodged here, though. Oh, they could lose the panzers there. Could have popped tactical assault, I think, they actually maybe, but they do so. Flame fighting about it, drawing right between it all, risking losing it, but at the same time could throw you a lot of damage. Got panzers coming up there as well. Anti-tank grenade off, flame fire down here. Some furious fighting here between AngryDutchman and Iroha, but hard to say who quite came about there. Ahead of that one, I think that might have been AngryDutchman. Neither side still taking up, they definitely should get those techs going. Need to push those tanks out. Those panzers must be rolling. Second disc there by up for AngryDutchman, and it's quickly routed by the Panzergun. Yes, the Sturmgewehr threatened to cut their existence. Sean there going to get backed up at the conscript. Could of course quickly merge the conscript with engineers if the Panzers focus on them too fast. Back here, troop reinforcing. Should try and, I think, harass more on the right flank, trying to sneak about AngryDutchman's right flank there. Pack 40 pulling back, Osttruppen holding up here for Iroha and Deutschland. Back here, still nothing. Oh, I do believe we got take up there for AngryDutchman finally. Meanwhile, Iroha has also decided it is time to move higher up the tech tree. Panzer going to escort setting out. There's 6 kills close to veteran 2. We got another S50-40 weapon drop on the way there for AngryDutchman. Guards airborne and disc being hauled forwards here. Got the Osttruppen heavy cover. 5 kills, veteran 2. Machine gun also back at base. Quick route as the Osttruppen simply cannot respond to the sheer amount of pressure with that little support they themselves have, since there's no supporting infantry, no machine guns, no artillery, no tanks. They've been pretty much a waste of Osttruppen. Yes, even Osttruppen can be wasted. Tank command up there for AngryDutchman and the Red Army, the 12th Tank Corps. Panzer's got the eastern or cut-off point there. So Paul McCartney and Iroha will probably be able to go for a Panther ahead of AngryDutchman going for a medium tank, and we can certainly see there that AngryDutchman definitely could already now be pushing for a medium tank, so definitely a bit awkward there. Bit awkward, inefficient, I would say. Continuing on, piercing rounds have been used in the aim before, so we can't time it here again. Still should push up east, I think, hard. And Iroha may also want to eventually at some point backtech for the infantry company, something to get out of Malta. I think that'd be actually quite effective versus AngryDutchman on this map. Going used with stem, particularly with 2 heavy machine guns. A Malta could be a quite handy dandy tool. But there you go, Panzervollery, the Panzerkampfwagen 4 field and currently eastern fields against any German armoured incursions. Osttruppen charging into the disc, getting suppressed. And what? Okay. Apparently wasn't paying attention, something got whacked in a minefield. Hey Petrov, what does those skull signs mean? It means you're really cool if you step into it. Oh, cool. Yeah, we're cool guys. We're not a bunch of babies. Let's show them how cool we are. And we see some eastern points here. Panzer being suppressed with a disc machine gun. Trying to get close to a bun grenade, but rather I think the only thing they're getting closer to is an early grave. And there you go, guards aiming flanking in here. Another punch going in, trying to act as bait, but not quite working out there. But again, it's where artillery would have been helpful. There you go, Panzer ramming, pin lamp machine away the Iroha. Very good, troop reinforcing healing. And there you go. Went for a grenade attempt there. We got 373 versus 437. AngryDutchman are definitely ahead of Iroha in terms of victory points. S-Mod's going up here some munitions, though they have yet to secure it. Panzervollery now moving westwards. Might want to support that with some infantry. And Osttruppen quickly routed here by the Guards Airborne. That is a very lopsided engagement as ever. And there you go, Panzervollery tracking heavy machine gun crew, obviously ill-equipped to take on a Panzer IV head-on. Given they'll cover ground, in fact, down to just 5 men with incredible low health. The rest do survive the encounter with the Panzer IV. German Panzerwaffe. As the Schwerfmann Muller's finally able to ring up some sort of high up the command chain element and get in some tanks. T-54 from 6 on the way there for AngryDutchman. East side here we got Guards Airborne holding about their pioneers stand with the minefield there and grabbing these some munitions. Very good. In fact, Iroha controls both munitions points, leading to a significant munitions edge over AngryDutchman. Whether or not they can use them unmatched. Almost got them near, but no heavy coming, so Osttruppen can't hit the broadside of a barn from the inside with a shotgun. Great hit from the field gun and the Panzer IV down to half health already. Panzer pushing forward. There's not a lot to actually stop them, though they definitely should focus on the conscripts first, though, since obviously they might take some needless losses. And there you go, force out on them due to the bun grenade. And those conscripts will need to retreat soon, otherwise they're going to be toast. In fact, they may in fact already be toast. There we go. Almost got the white field bombarding, and there you go, down just 2 infantry squads. Definitely dangerously low there for AngryDutchman. Definitely dangerously low. East side we got Guards Airborne going for these some victory upon him. We sees the fuel point there from the fascists. Worth noting, Iroha's not really laying down any sandbags for the Osttruppen, despite they really should want to do that so they can actually fight effectively. Bit of an oversight there by Iroha, I would say. Bit of an oversight. T-4 rolling about here for AngryDutchman, ready to make a push against the fascists. Panzer IV need repairs. Back here we got T4. A bold attempt there by Iroha, deciding they wish to push for the bigger tanks faster, rather than trying to establish a more, solid layer of medium. Iroha lives for the thrill of big tanks. The roar of the Panther, the boom of the Sturmpanther, the scream of squirrels as the Panzerwaffe misses every other target but the squirrels. Those are the things that make Iroha's life worth living, rather than just, more sensible medium armor backed up by Stoogs. Anyways, constantly about here for AngryDutchman, grabbing the western victory point there, losing further east control. He needs to counterattack there. 2 Panzer squads in by both Panzer squads. Actually, 2 is pretty good. Could actually give those Guards Airborne some issues. In particular, the way moving out on the retreat path as well could actually fit in with a bun grenade on the retreat path as well, giving a wipe. There you go, Disc is still in the building here. Lack of artillery continues to be an issue there for Iroha in this regard. And there you go, T-4 forcing into robbing. Bun grenade in the midst of the Guards Airborne. There we go, almost getting wiped here on the Guards Airborne when one man survives. Runs as the rest are pinned down incredibly closely of AngryDutchman. That could have been another wipe which would have left AngryDutchman ridiculously short in infantry. Gentlemen, they're spotted, routed here. Iroha really strict control. So there you go. Actually got an airdrop there. We got fuel, munitions. We got a machine gun there as well, plus the Pack 40 there. That's definitely something there. I think they could have gone for that sooner, rather than getting that first Pack 40. Until they found the machine gun position, forcing it into the open. Now the T-34 from 6 way for AngryDutchman and the 12th Tank Corps. Might want to again grab that, and I suppose, push for some of that armor. M14 for the conscript, T-34 coming right in front of the Pack 40. There you go, great hit from the Pack 40, punching through the T-34-6's armor, sending it to half health. The crew shivering inside the tank as they suddenly feel like it perhaps isn't as safe as they like to think it to be. Hey Petrov, is it supposed to, like, you not be able to view through the armor without viewports? Yes, comrade, clearly it is part of the design. It also creates extra ventilation, so yes, it's clearly a part of the design and not an indication of any potential faults in construction. T-34 coming out there for AngryDutchman, sees an eastern victory point there, Panthering westwards in, Gagnon Engineers. Strike here at Pioneers, pushing the back with the T-34-6. Now here, Panzer Corvette here for Iroha. I mean, if that's what they're going to go for, they definitely should, like, press on that one as fast as possible. Again, they can get out some stuff faster. And, of course, grab the supplies here in the meanwhile. All of these lovely jerry cans, as they're known. Which actually were, in fact, designed by the Germans. The British called them jerry cans because they're, you know, made by the Jerrys, the Germans, and so called on the rest of the world. As it turns out, the design of the fuel cans was actually just incredibly good. Fun fact. Panful shoots. Guard 7 holding up here. Surprising enough, they have yet to grab the resource there. Bit of an oversight by Iroha. But very much focusing on the west. We've got now two machines coming up the field gun. They're going to be fired by two machine guns. That could be a problem because, remember, anti-tank guns do not get suppressed when they actually take the full damage of machine gun teams. So they can actually quickly clear the field gun or an anti-tank if not careful. In this case, though, AngryDutchman got a bit lucky there. They didn't get punished too hard for that. That could have been rather painful for AngryDutchman. Could have been painful. Double packs firing here, though each of their own separate targets. In this case, apparently a suspected communist squirrel nest, I guess. Nuts to the bourgeois. Anyways, Osttruppen coming up here, taking from the T-34 going for the flank here. We got machine guns up there for Iroha, of course, also signaling they have reached tier 4. Heavy pants got up there for Iroha. Still should grab that and get that extra fuel out. May still save like a minute or two in terms of like getting out something big. Katyusha rocket launcher there for AngryDutchman and the Red Army. And there goes from annihilated by the Guards Airborne 6 kill 22 though. I still feel like AngryDutchman could benefit, you know, from a bit of extra infantry here. But now we got Guards Airborne with the light machine gun and the submachine guns. That's quite a bit of firepower there, by the way. That is quite a bit of firepower. Quickly suppress that up. Also, imagine using tactical assault with a light machine gun on. Oh boy, someone's gonna be hurt. Katyusha rocket launcher in here. Definitely gonna punish here. You don't have a bunching up the stuff too much. Probably one of the reasons why AngryDutchman went for it. Of course, a beautiful reading on the situation there. Losing the MG42 team entirely. Definitely a bit of mistake there by Iroha, of course. Should consider that as an option eventually. Pumping 40. Bit of pressure again the east side. Pack 4 lands good in the T-34 bun grenade off the Guards here, but we could see a wipe here. Will they get away this time? No! They get annihilated, exterminated. AngryDutchman is down just one infantry squad. The rest is dead, gone, buried in a ditch. And there you go. Panzers now with an LMD of their own. Still heavy losses on both sides here. They need to be careful. In particular, Iroha has lost a lot there. Still hasn't grabbed that. Bit of nose height, in my opinion. Bit of nose height, particularly since again it would help them push a bit faster towards it with its one like Panther. Sure, a bit faster. Sturmpanther again, sure, it's a bit faster. Machine gun team there wiped out. Quick round with the Osttruppen. This big gunner is the gunners are dying as fast as like you know they're grabbing it. Losing the Panther veterans one gain. Definitely should extend more pressure eastwards here. And again, grab that. Meanwhile, AngryDutchman could try more flanking as well. Very much butting heads here. Like two beasts in the consoles. And there you go. Finally grabbing the fuel and the munitions. Thus, again, getting a bit closer towards either Panther, Sturmpanther, Iroha, and the German army. Need to fix up the Panzer IV. Mein Gott, Otto, what have you been doing with this? Driving into a war zone? Well, yeah, we're in a war. Oh, right. I used to be a mechanic before this, so, you know, I used to make that joke. Well, yeah, it's not a joke this time around, Dummkopf. T-field forcing east was there. Close to the east, level on the east, Panzer going to be within MG42. Sadly, they do not get access to tactical advance, tactical assault, or tactical boogie woogie. T-field 17 mapping, getting the Panzer up close. They definitely need to get out of there. 200 points left for Iroha and the Sperrverband Müller. AngryDutchman definitely holding back here, clearly worried about a sudden German assault. Panther 4 almost good to go. Briefly considered this German Panther, perhaps decided something a bit more meaty was needed in terms of armor and anti-tank composition. Going for the Eastern Victory Point there, going for the Eastern Fuel most likely as well. And there you go, Panther neu für Iroha, the Panzerkampfwagen 5. Pride of the Vaterland. As long as you don't look at the performance reliabilities. Engineers being eastwards there. Pioneers heading westwards. Panzer being hit there with the light machine and the Sturmgewehr 44. T-34 getting fixed up there for AngryDutchman. Could go for another T-34 soon. That definitely a bit of a chance there for Iroha. I still think Iroha should consider backtaking simply again for access to mortars. Another machine gun there for Iroha and the German army. Yeah, not bad either, but again, mortar would be nice. A Granatenwerfer. Meanwhile, AngryDutchman making claim to the west side, digging in, securing terrain, scouting ahead for fascists and fascist squirrels. And there you go, Panther out. Should of course add the pin-mounted MG42 machine gun on top for added anti-infantry. T-54 on the move here, Panther folding back. T-54 moving in here, line front of the Pack 40. Nice front here by Iroha. There you go, Panther moving up. Great speed spotted by Pioneers if necessary. May also want to keep Panthers close to the Panther. There you go, direct hit by the Panther on the T-54 from 6. But there you go, field and shoots the Panther, misses. North hit T-54 from advancing. Oh, the into the Panther fast Pack 4. No, the Panther fast flubs because the guy shooting it was killed. Panther moving ahead. You need to be careful of that. Got the T-54. Could actually consider calling artillery around the air. There we go. But needs support where the Panther is versus everything else. I feel like this is a bit of a poor execute assault there. But I'd have to be honest, it's supposed to be the Panther too much. Which, by the way, Panther crews were instructed never to do that. That's like one of the primary rules. Always keep the front towards the enemy. Because those obviously the strongest part of the Panther. Certified first shot goes missing here. Second shot goes well there. Panther pushing Pack 40 as well there. Panther 4 blazing in now. A daring assault here by Iroha, but crews are being torn apart. Panthers routed here. Troops being suppressed for Panther 4's about to get knocked out here. Got the field gun crew. At least small win there for Iroha, but in the end, that assault could have been, I think, coordinated a bit better than it actually did. And again, an officer would have been a great way to support it with smoke screen, for example, and boosting units as well. But I suggest the Panther gun movement should have been coordinated better. Like doing these situations, it's actually really important. Your Panther gun is I like at the forefront. Well, on the flank specifically, heading out critical elements, taking out. There you go. Rocket strike on the Panther. Iroha has not realized to get out. Oh, God, Team Hemo. Panther somehow survives this incredibly narrow. The Panther 4 has stayed alive for quite a bit of time there, despite being pursued by T-54s. But in the end, its luck runs out as a T-54s from 6 pops a 76.2mm armor-piercing round straight up the tailpipe. Back hits with reinforcing healing. A brutal engagement there. Problem is that AngryDutchman needs to just recruit the pack and the field gun. I mean, they're quickly back up in terms of anti-tank weapons, whereas Iroha doesn't quite have the same option. This is a bit of a risky situation there, and again, it's going to come down to, I think, some excellent Panther usage here by Iroha alongside Panther usage. Also, I think the best move right now would be actually push out the west side, since right now, wide open spaces to just make a swift advance to perhaps force AngryDutchman to counterattack in that, perhaps make a mistake and then punish him. At least outmaneuver him, but I'll the way. Panther there being fixed up. The Panzerkampfwagen 5. AngryDutchman can still do with some more T-34s and 6s. Could always do with more. Need to fix that one up. Moving westwards here with machine guns. Panzer going to be leading the way. 15 kills, ace level. So at least they're switching front again. Good there by Iroha. Thumbs up. Another Pack 40 here. Another Panzer Abwehrkanone 40. AngryDutchman still with a bit more infantry. In my opinion. Could definitely benefit from just a few more chaps with which to take on the fascist invaders. And there you go. T-Fed pushing up the Panzer to narrowly avoid getting shot by that. But definitely needs some anti-tank support up the fast Panthers. Almost good to go here. Also, Iroha definitely needs more pioneers to help increase repair speed on the Panther. Definitely want that to be repaired as swiftly as possible. But there you go, good hits on the T-34. CoH2 rocket launcher unleashes another volley of explosive death there. People joining in there as Iroha's western position being absolutely hammered into submission by the Red Army. Panther almost good to go there. Another T-34 for AngryDutchman. Very good. Sticking in here with this victory point. Also very good. Also worth noting, he actually didn't crap the Pack 40 destroy the field, and he did the opposite. But again, I guess it doesn't really make a difference. In terms of like performance, they're actually quite close. Like the only difference is the Pack 40 is target weak point, which is nice. But obviously the field gun just says bombardment, which in a lot of cases actually is nicer. So in the end, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, to be honest. Just utterly crushes the wreckage just to like make a point if someone's around to see it. Ha! Take that, fascists! They're not around, Boris. Couldn't we like tell them about it? No, Boris, we can't. Panther for Iroha. I guess that's artillery, but again, I really think he benefited more from a mortar and some stews instead, to be honest. But here we are. We got 164 versus 435. Panther halfway done. Oh dear. Front towards the enemy always. Front towards the enemy. There we go. Panzer 40 up there for Iroha. The German army. 2 T-44. They're constantly going forwards there. AngryDutchman perhaps lining up for another assault to smash the fascists into pieces. To clear open a way to Berlin. Hoorah. Panther moving about, or will Iroha launch a counterattack to hopefully shatter the Bolsheviks, their courage, their spirit, and send them packing to Moscow? Who will attack? Who will defend? Will they both attack? What will happen? There goes 2 firing down, the machine close being wiped out. Panther forwards, almost got the T-34 one more hit there. Awesome, they're not great cleaning out anti-tankers, and there you go. Iroha extending Panther, I think, quite aggressively here. Best guarding kind of combat, but it's a damage engine and missed the Katyusha. T-34 coming up. In fact, there's 3 of them about here. Panthers. Oh dear. Iroha definitely made a bad call there. Outsend the Panther. And that Panther is down. Kaput. Insufficient support. The Panthers were nowhere to be seen. In fact, they're back at the base, getting replacements. A stinging blow there to Iroha. There should be no iron crosses handed out tonight. So at this point, I think Iroha may in fact be utterly toasted, as AngryDutchman is just running the remaining positions of Iroha, cleaning them up. And Iroha cannot form up a cohesive line of defense at this point. The Panthers, of course, can't theoretically do some work versus 3 T-34s from 6s and no Pack 40s. Chances of that actually succeeding are quite limited and would require, you know, things being in the game that aren't. So there you go, Iroha surrenders, a loss here for the German army, a victory for the Red Army, some good play there, but in the end, Iroha I feel like had a few slip-ups here and there. AngryDutchman I think could also been better, but overall I think played a much more stable game. So there you go, hope you enjoyed this match, I'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. This is Imperial Links, cheers, thank you for watching, hope to see you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye!